But of course, we must see this for ourselves. So let's go back to the CSS3 Demos website and look at an example. I'm in Visual Studio, and in Solution Explorer, I'm just showcasing that there is a file called CSS3 Transitions. That file is open in the text editor right now, and I already have the first transition on line 13 established. That for 2 seconds, if the background should change for any reason, then go ahead and transition to that. Well, if we hover over it, then the background's going to change to a yellow color from a gray color. So with that stated, I'm going to go ahead and save this, and let's view that simple transition right now. So if I hover over any one of these boxes, then I'm going to see the change to that background. Let's see what happens if I make the transition longer. Let's say a background for 4 seconds. I'll save that and refresh. See how long that's taking? And notice also when I leave that it gracefully handles itself on those transitions. Pretty cool. Let's do some more. Let me change this back to 2 seconds. But let me also add a width down here. A width, let's say for 200px. And notice I have not specified that I'm targeting that in my transition, just the background. Let's see what happens. I'll save that and go back to the page and refresh. Let's see what happens here. So you'll notice that the width is instantly applied, although I still get this changing transition with the color. What if I want the width to grow as well? I can provide a comma-separated view like this. Save that, go back here and refresh. And now watch what happens when I hover. I get a very nice gradual growing transition for each one of these. Very cool. We could just specify that all things will be impacted, and I could add something very cool like a border radius. And let's set it to 50%. And now let's go back and see what happens. I'll hit refresh, and let's see. We get that nice little rounded color look as it's trying to figure itself out with all the changes between the color, the width, and of course now applying those rounded corners. Now I'm curious to figure out where can I apply this in our CSS3 Demos site, the main page. What I'd like to do right now is for the title of the page, I'm going to add to the title a transition that says anything that changes, any property that changes visually, we'll give it a 3-second transition. So although I know we've changed the opacity on the title on a previous module, I'm also going to add an additional thing to change when the title is hovered. And that's going to just be that its color will become an amazing beaming white. That's it. So with that very simple change, let's see how this is going to look in the browser. There is the title. Let me go ahead and hover over it. And I get that slow, icy white look. And as I move away, it gracefully goes back. I think what would stand out even more is if that thing kind of popped out a little bit. Back in Visual Studio, I am going to apply a transformation of scale, and the scale is going to increase itself just by 15%. Let's see how that looks when we return to the page and refresh. Now it pops out a little bit, provides that ooh-ah factor, and slowly goes back.